Remember that pyramid, triangle. In the first space that you have, write purpose. Purpose. Bottom, I'm sorry. This is a bottom up. I'm glad you asked. All of us are looking for our purpose, our life purpose, our career purpose. All of us in this room, there came a day when we decided that we really need to go to law school, that this is what we want to do. For me, it was when I read To Kill a Mockingbird and when I read Clarence Darrow, My Life in Court. And I said, I want to be like Atticus Finch. I want to be like Clarence Darrow. Then I read a book about Earl Rogers, does anyone in the room have a clue who Earl Rogers was? Boy, you've got some neat reading to do. Earl Rogers is the first lawyer to ever have used demonstrative evidence in a trial. That's point one. Clarence Darrow, you may not know, actually was accused of bribing jurors in a case in Los Angeles. Guess who defended Clarence Darrow? Earl Rogers. And so I'm reading these books and I'm saying, oh, boy, I just want to do this. This is really what I want to do. So for each of us, you get to decide, are you a lawyer because it's a job? Are you a lawyer because it's a career? Are you a lawyer because it's a calling? You feel that this is something you were called to do, where you could make a difference. In 1990, I believe it's 1997, Labor Day weekend, 3 relatively famous people died that weekend. Princess Diana is one. Does anyone know who the other 2 were? Mother Teresa. The third one? The third one was Viktor Frankl. Does anyone know who Viktor Frankl was? Viktor Frankl was in the concentration camps during World War II. Lost most, if not all, of his family. And he came out of it having studied how some people survived and thrived in this awful horror that they were living, and how some people just gave up. And he wrote this book called Man's Search for Meaning. It's only about 200 pages long, paperback, easy to read. And the people who survived and thrived are the people who had some sense of meaning of what they were going to do when this awful disaster horror was over. I tell the story that last year I was trying a case and I was out in San Francisco taking a deposition. And I'm seated at the bar. A lot of times if I'm by myself, I just eat at the bar. It's easier, quicker. So I'm seated at the bar eating. And around the corner from me is an African-American woman, probably in her 50s. And her husband keeps coming out of a meeting room to speak with her. And there's this big meeting going on in the room. So finally I said, why aren't you in there? Well, it was a boating meeting, and she said, well, this is the first time we came. I didn't know if any wives or women showed up. So I came along, and there are no wives or women in there, so I decided I wasn't going to be in there. So we got talking further. She said, where are you from? And I said, Texas. She said, well, I'm going to Texas next week. I'm going back to Houston. My cancer has reoccurred. I said, oh, that's terrible. I feel so sorry. She said, oh, don't feel sorry for me. Through my cancer, I have found my life purpose. And there's apparently an association or a group around the country of African American women who have cancer. And she speaks all over the country about what it's like and about, how you can survive and and thrive in this terrible situation. So it causes me to think, why is it that we have to have some kind of tragedy in our life to figure out what our life purpose is? Can't we do that without a tragedy? Can't we focus on what it is we want to do as lawyers without having some kind of tragedy? When I was first thinking about this question, when I was in the crossroads, I was thinking, I want to be a lawyer because I like to win. I want to be a lawyer because I love competition. I want to be a lawyer because I want to try cases. I was thinking about my purpose from me, my perspective. Once I started thinking about what I wanted to do to serve and help and facilitate the work of my clients, everything changed for me. It was all about them. It was all about me helping them, all about me serving them. And I became very, very content in the zone with helping. So one of the things I suggest when you're thinking about your purpose of why you're practicing law and what you want to accomplish, put it in the context of your clients and how you can help them and how you can make a difference in their lives.